Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back. In this new lesson, I'll be discussing about few of the most important audio technologies which you all guys will be facing during music production. So, what exactly are these audio technologies? Okay, to keep things straight and simple, these audio technologies are nothing more than a bridging technology between the DAW software and a audio plugin. In order to integrate various third-party audio plugins into DAW softwares, different audio firms comes up with their own technology. Okay guys, as you all can see, TXI technology was developed by Microsoft, VSTI is developed by Steinberg, AU or audio unit is developed by Apple, RTAS or real time audio suite was developed by DigiDesign, TDM or time division multiplexing was also developed by DigiDesign, and AAX is developed by Avid Technologies. Let's check out the popular one, the VSTI. Okay guys, VST stand for Virtual Studio Technology, and it's being developed by Steinberg and was launched in the year 1996. There are basically three different type of VST plugins: VST instrument plugins, VST effect plugins, and VST MIDI plugins. Okay guys, let's check their major differences, as you all will be facing these VST 2.4 and VST 3 plugins options during installation. VST 2.4 plugins are still in use, and I too use them in daily basis. They are very stable and perform very well during music production. Any plugin developer is free to continue supporting for VST 2.4 plugin. If a DAW software supports VST 2.4 plugins, then it will continue to do so unless until the plugin developer specially removes VST 2.4 support. Eventually, developers may stop releasing VST 2.4 plugins once VST 3 has taken over most of the world. Until then, you guys are fine, and without any problem, you guys can install them and use it during your music production. The VST 3 specs have been around for a decade, and adaptation was relatively slow because VST 2.4 work very well. So you can install both type if you want, because the plugins themselves usually don't take up much space. But also note that many companies are more actively developing the VST 3 plugins and debugging their VST 3 versions only, whereas VST 2.4 versions are becoming more and more afterthought. Okay guys, VST 3 plugins have some of the most impressive and beneficial features as compared to VST 2.4. So let's check out what these VST plugins can do. First of all, you guys should know that VST 3 is a ground up redo of VST 2.4 and is essentially a new platform. Managing large plugin sets and multiple virtual instruments on typical studio computer system can often be difficult because of CPU performance limits. VST 3 helps to improve overall performance by applying processing to plugins only when audio signals are present on their respective inputs, instead of always processing input signal as in VST 2.4. VST 3 plugins can apply their processing economically and only when it is needed. so it saves CPU processing. Sample accurate automation. The manufacturers has to implement this as it's a significant change compared to VST 2.4. So more accurate than before. Instrument output bus cleanup. In a related development, instrument with multiple output can take up a lot of unneeded mixer channels. With VST3, you can disable unused output yet re-enable them later if needed. Again, resource friendly. Multiple dynamic input-output allocations. VST 2.4 plugins used to have a fixed number of input and outputs, but that's no longer the case, as VST 3 plugins have the potential to adapt to the channel configuration into which they are inserted. Put the plugin on a stereo bus and it becomes stereo. Insert it in a surround bus and it becomes surround. You guys can also create audio buses, which makes cross modulation and recorder applications easy to do. But again, it's up to the manufacturer to implement these features. Audio inputs for VST instruments. The VST3 interface expands VST instruments by adding the ability to create audio input buses. As a result, audio data can be routed to any VST instruments. A synthesizer which has a built-in vocoder effects is able to process audio data coming in from other sources as well. Resizable edit window. Oh, one of the great features. VST3 introduces a new approach to plugin GUI, graphic user interface, through window resizing, allowing for extremely flexible use of valuable screen space. So you guys can resize the plugin window according to your need. VST XML for remote controllers. Remote controllers for audio and MIDI software applications have become increasingly popular. With VST XML, VST3 offers far more flexible control of VST3 plugins by remote controllers. Using the knob and faders on the control surface, parameters can be recorded, renamed, and edited in many ways. Parameters that cannot be edited can be routed for display purpose to the control surface. For example, to show gain reduction on compressor. So basically, one musical life got easy and more creative. Multiple MIDI input and outputs. Usually, VST 2.4 plugins can have only one MIDI input and output. But VST3 plugins can have more than one MIDI input and output at the same time. And last but not least, 64-bit processing. VST3 plugins are generally able to process audio data in 64-bit. So now you can have a DAW processing in 64-bit, and the bridging technology is in 64-bit, and the plugin is also processing in 64-bit. More performance. That's all, guys. Now I think you all have a better understanding of these VST 2.4 and VST3 technologies and what they are capable of. So see you guys in the very next lesson.